With that being done, I'm going to remove the screwdriver, set it on the cowl. And what you guys are going to want to do is you may want to lube the O-ring on here, but I put it on just by hand as well as I can until you crush the the O-ring a bit. It'll seat down inside. And as I said, we're going to do this first cylinder here. Sometimes it's a little hard to get these to thread in. Takes a little bit of a try, and it helps if the car isn't off the ground on the lift. You don't get very many threads with this either. I'll warn you that you only get I don't even know if it's a full turn. It's enough that it won't blow out, so I don't think you have to worry about it. Now we'll get our supplied shop air. Now, being this is the first time I've done these kind of tests, I don't really know how to calculate the leakage, but I will give you guys the numbers. If I can get this tester to cooperate with us. So it's connected. One thing, I'm just going to save you guys the annoyance that I had with this OTC tool. You're like, oh, I cannot turn this. When you grab this tool, pull out. Haha, you're thinking you're funny, Chase. But really, that's all this is. I thought it was push, whatever. Finally, you just pull against it. And that's all it is. So now, they say to set this somewhere around 70 or whatever. I'm just going to probably put it like 75. Some people like to turn and put the tool on here with the engine just the way it is and then supply pressure and then turn with pressure running through. I'd rather just hook it all up then put the pressure. Like now I have nothing on and I'll connect or try to. Now with it connected, pull the tester. Now I'm at 75. And the leakage is showing around 15, and I'll show you guys that. First cylinder, I'm not 100% sure what stroke we're on. I assume we're top dead center for the first cylinder, but there's a very audible leak coming from the first cylinder. But according to this, at least from what I understand, that is very good. Usually when you're doing the test, you'll be 70 and the leakage will be around, shortly behind. So this here would show that it's not leaking very much at all. Even though we can audibly hear it. That's the thing I don't quite understand. Is we are leaking, but it must not be enough. So this doesn't fall under the 20%, which is what is acceptable. So this cylinder tests good.
Hold up.
So we're going to go down to the next cylinder, and I'm going to go down to the crank cylinder. So now we hit that one there. Good. Unlock. We're at 75, maybe just a little bit over 75 psi. And once again, we have an audible leak at the exhaust side. As you can hear, I have a leak at the exhaust side, but according to the tester, we are well within our limits, so that's good. But you can hear a leak. On to the next cylinder. Now see, it did what I thought it would do. We only got this part of the tool, no big deal. Set this back off to the side. Go down and grab your wrench. You could keep another one separate, which is probably the smart way. Grab your extension, throw your socket on. Make sure you're loosening as well. Now, you just have to have a tool that'll reach down and grab that piece for you. And I'm going to grab a long nose pliers. And I stand corrected, long nose, a long needle nose pliers. And then you've got your tool for that set up on top. I don't know why I just did that. I don't know. Set this off to the side. This is going back onto your crank, turning clockwise. And this goes down into your next cylinder, which should only be, I believe, one rotation off. Now we've got that set. Take your piece. I like to try and clean the threads inside so they don't want to come apart from this one here. It's nice to clean these ones too. If they do get oily from doing compression tests, or, well, these ones are for compression tests, so don't do that. Because these don't have Schrader valves inside of them. As you can see, that kind of defeats the purpose. No Schrader valve. If you do a compression test, your tester will have a Schrader valve inside. Third cylinder. Now connect the tester. And here we go. About 75, and again a noticeable leak at the exhaust side. Here we are. Audible leak. Around 75, probably a little bit over. Leak is less than 15 or so, give or take a little bit on the given pressure. And with that, we will turn the pressure down, lock it, remove that, set this off to the side, and try to pull our hose out without leaving the attachment, which I think is going to happen again this time. Yeah, it is. It's going to stay in the head for us. Then just throw this off to the side. Get your guy down there. Run down here. And I just destroy the car. No problems. Oh, there's a little scuff. Can't see it. We are in a body shop though, so probably the best place it could happen. Set your sock to the side. Try not to destroy the wonderful paint job on this valve cover. And there you go. Like I said, 1.5 threads in there. So it doesn't take much. I just like to be on the safe side. Grab your needle nose. And you've got your adapter. You can see how far it goes in. Really not that far. Kind of scary, but it does the job. And really that's all that matters, isn't it? Getting the job done. And getting the job done correctly. We're not destroying threads, because I've seen no signs of thread issues, and the spark plugs have gone in. I've done this test at least one time on this car, all the cylinders. And do the next cylinder. You want to put that in. Here I am. We'll just try this. I don't think this is on the right one here, but we'll give it a go. Just knock her back a little bit. Good to go. Grab this out. Take our guy. Slap it on the other guy. We should be ready to roll. I'm amazed I could just do that with one hand. Well, don't speak too soon. I'm going to go back to the other facing direction. Here's a little bit of a different angle, I guess. Get this one tight again. Good to go. Drop it down. Find your threads. Actually find the threads. Get your turn and a half out of it about. Make sure it doesn't come out. Cool. And pressure. Once again, we've got decent results, at least from what I understand. Once again, an audible leak coming from the exhaust side. Pressure shows 75 psi, 15 leak. But I'm going to try something here. I'm going to try and get you guys set up in a position where we can watch as I turn. We can go through a cycle and see what we hear. Hear if there's a change in what happens. Now, I wish there was a good way to set so the gauge could be viewed too, but I'm just going to have to watch it from my side. So we're going to continue to turn the engine in the clockwise position, the clockwise direction. It's leaking from the intake side. Same, 75 pounds, 15 leak. Nothing ridiculous. We're going to keep turning just because I'm curious. And my socket falls off of the frame. So now, we're still at 75, leak is still around 15, give or take. Nothing audible coming from the exhaust. I can hear something from the intake side slightly. However, I am unable to turn the crank anymore. So, I believe what we have here is, I think we're good. And I hear slight air, but I don't think it's anything to be worried about. I guess I'm just going to try and interpret the information I'm getting here, and I'll report back to you guys. It's been a few moments, and I've got 75 applied, and we are clearly leaking from the exhaust side now. But watch what happens as I continue. That should be the intake. We are leaking from the intake side, I can hear. When you open the throttle body. Leakage is still all right. And I'll continue to turn, see what else we hear. So we had a change in pitch. Nothing from the exhaust. The intake is letting pressure out. But we're still at 75 and 15, even with intake open. But we are, I had a tube here. This one is blowing slight air out of it. We'll continue turning and see what we get. I believe we're coming to a different lobe on the cam where the intakes are possibly opening. We're still sitting the exact same. Nothing coming from the exhaust. Can hear something from opening the intake. I hear nothing from the intake, nothing from the exhaust. I am getting air coming out of the cylinders, however. This one specifically here, the second cylinder is where I'm getting leakage. I'm not feeling any there when you open the intake. I don't hear anything. So I think we're good. Cranked it up. Let's go back to 75. Still 75, 25. I will crank the motor more. I think we're going to hit a compression stroke. Yep, we're at the compression stroke, so I can't do anything at that point. So maybe there's a turn of events. Maybe this car just needs some cylinder head work. Because from what I can see, I'm not getting much of a leak. Yeah, we did this before and we were getting leakage into the crankcase. Slight leakage, which we were getting here too a little bit. So this car may just need new valve stem seals, which would be awesome. It is odd that this cylinder is leaking air, however. Very odd. It's definitely coming from one of those cylinders. Interesting. Very interesting. Well, I'm going to find out a little bit more and report back, guys.